Welcome back everybody, Natsu here once again. This time around we are talking about finally the video I've been trying to do for almost freaking 2 weeks or something like that. That is regarding, what bosses I would like to have in King of Fire 15 boss mode, right? And also because of that, I expect that we can be able to play with those characters, right? Because, we have Omega Rugal, so, we want those, right? So, having said that, I want to mention a few things first. There are gonna be some parameters on why they are on my list, right? The first one is how popular is the character. The second one is how many times that character has appeared in the franchise. The third point is, is this a character that as a boss was a hard boss or interesting boss altogether, right? The fourth thing would be aesthetics. He looks cool, right? It's my list. I make the criteria, right? What's the point of doing this if I'm going to try to mimic anybody else, right? And the fifth one is this is really important because I want people to understand that I won't, there will be. It doesn't mean that because the list will be only comprised of King of Fire bosses. I'm gonna include any SNK character that is a boss to be a potential option over here due that Hydran stated, oh, this is a multi-universal. So yeah, we're going in Doctor Strange, we're gonna go Crisis on Infinity Earth, we're gonna go multiversal, parallel Earths, etc, because like SNK say, shatter all your expectations. Now, with that out of the way, if you like this kind of content, as always, like and subscribe. This helps a lot of the channel. But anyways, let's start the countdown. And the first one, it is Orochi. Now, you might be saying, wait, so Oroshi's number 10? That's that's the least favorite? And to be honest, let me explain before everybody kills me in the comments below. Orochi is a character that I love this character. Now, I do think that this character is gonna have a high probability of getting in the boss, mode. So, having said that, I think that since he's so, almost guaranteed to happen, I want to try and bring other characters that will be more hype because you won't expect it, right? But even so, to be honest, if they bring Orochi, I will be super happy. I think he's a great character, even though I understand that he might need to do a little bit of tweaking, because for example in the footage that you can see over here, he doesn't have like a crouch block animation, and they don't have anything to go by, unlike Rugal that did have a crouch block, right? So yeah, they need to do more work with that character than maybe some other bosses that have already animation, even though some bosses look kind of wonky, especially if you play King of Fire to 2002 Limited Match. But anyways, let's go to the next character. Mr.Karate is my number 9. Now, having said that, this character has appeared in, in different games like Art of Fighting, number 1. If you don't know, Mr.Karate is Takuma, that's Ryo father. So you can know that, he will have that kind of play style, but he will be a little bit different because he's, he's the master, right? So you can use moves like the ones he has in King of Fire 13 where he can break his DP, and that way you can have like that, that versatility with that character, but also retaining, the Ryototokan, I forgot the name of the martial arts. I'll put it on post, whatever. So I think it should have like that kind of moves, and also a little bit of SNK versus Capcom move list. That way it can be a little more dynamic, and also if you play against this character in SNK versus Capcom, like really hard difficulty, it's really messed up. Like I'm talking about Rugal kind of salts, yeah, plural, like a lot of salt you're gonna get from there. So yeah, that's gonna be my number 9. Number 8, Silver. Now, if you're asking who is this character, let me explain. Even though it looks like a Shoto, and maybe acts like a Shoto, but it's not a Shoto. What I mean by this is that it doesn't have fireballs. because this character comes from what is called Buruki 1. If you don't know what Buruki 1 is, it's an old SNK game when they were playing with, with 3D graphics back before King of Fighter 14 even existed. I'm talking about back on the 2000, like that age, like when people didn't have cell phones. I mean, they have one, but they didn't have smartphones. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that this character is obscure. Now, this character, even though I'm saying that, this character did appear in King of Fighter 11, and you will see, on the video, his gameplay, game style, etc. I think it will be an interesting character to have it because he was the final boss for Buruki 1, and it will give, like a resurgence of interest to the characters that were in Buruki 1. If you don't know, Ryo was also in that game, which, he's from the Art of Fighting team. But Silver has never appeared ever since, right? And like I said, I'm making more this, this list based more on characters that are like people will be interested in them, and maybe they will be, oh, I didn't know that this character existed from this franchise, and therefore that way you will make it so that SNK can use other characters from different franchises because the possibilities are endless this time around. So my number 7 is Neo Dio. Now you may be asking, who is this guy? Well, this guy is just perfect. Now this guy is a character that appears, and it's a boss actually also, for World Heroes Yet Perfect, another game that SNK did, back in the golden age. He is like like if you have seen Yo-Yo Bizarre version, you will notice that he's similar to the vampires, the god vampires like Cars, etc. And Dio, because of the name, right? And also because he does Yo-Yo pose. And if you don't like Yo-Yo Bizarre Adventure, I mean, what's wrong with you, right? So yeah, this will be an interesting pick nonetheless. But let's go to the next character. Number 6 is gonna be Kagami from Last Blade. Now you may be asking, Last Blade, and I bet you have heard about this game before. This is one of the games that SNK, rolled back netcode. Also, there's the most popular character, it seems, is Ibuki. And she appears in Capcom vs. SNK 2. Also, she appeared at Samurai Showdown, and that's also letting you know that SNK knows that people want a Last Blade 3, and this game is pretty fun if you have played it before. So this is gonna be my reason why I'm gonna select this character as the number 6. I like this character. He has flames, high dive kicks, swords, and this also will correlate to other stuff that I hope that happens in the future. Since, spoiler alert, there might be a Samurai Showdown team coming in the near future, but if they do that, I want next year to do the Last Blade team. That's excuse me. Okay, let's go to the next character. Number 5, Krauser. Now let me tell you about something about this character. This character is a boss. When I say a boss, it's not that he was a boss in Final Fury or Real Bout. He is a boss. He has everything. He has overhead, he has command grabs, he has counters. When I say counters, like Rock Hour, Geese Hour, he also has a Deadly Rave like them, and I also have the Kaiser Wave, which you remember Omega Rugal stole that move from them. So yeah, I mean, Krauser is a character that is one of my favorites. The reason why is because first time I saw this character, I mean, it wasn't the first time, because this is where it gets a little bit kind of confusing. You will notice that the artwork for him in the fighting games, he has a goatee or a beard, right? In the anime, he didn't have that whatsoever, and I was like, oh, he looks so cool. And it would be interesting to see that they will do like a version, like a anime alternate costume. That would be awesome. I will be on board for the heck. You can charge me. Everybody can do it for free. But if you want, you can charge me, SNK. I don't mind. I love this character. There's nothing else I can say, right? So anyways, let's go to the next character. My number 4, King Leo. Now you might be asking from where, and the where is from Kizuna Encounter. This is a character that I always found the design super interesting because it shouldn't work. Like a guy that thinks is almost like a lion, even though that is not correct. Well, he has the pride of a lion, right? But then he has a boxing glove and a sword. Enough say. Now, if you have fought this boss in Kizuna Encounter, and also if you fought in New York Coliseum, which was his last time showing up in any SNK title, you will know that this character is hard as hell. I think it will be interesting to having him, from him to get added in King of Fighter. He already did like had done several cameos and been playable in different games. But I think it will be really interesting, especially if they decide to also add Kizuna Encounter team, which I would love for that to also to happen. So wink wink, this is also like a like an extra cherry on the cake or something like that people say. I don't know. Anyways, let's go to the next character. Now for my third character in this list will be Amakusa from Samurai Showdown. Now the last time this character came out and was 2019 in the Samurai Shodown remake. I always have loved this character, and from all the bosses that Samurai Shodown has had before, I think that the main reason why people always go back to Amakusa is because of the character design and how that character is different from other characters altogether. Because other characters are more like they're mimicking what other people in the roster do, and in case of Amakusa is really original what he's doing. Even though, of course, if you are somebody that likes like playing, like zoning, like a Dalsim or maybe Basara from Samurai Showdown, you will see you will think about this character that is awesome. Some people might not like that game style, but again, when you fought against this as a boss, it was really hard. And to be honest, I think it will be a great addition, especially if we're gonna have a Samurai Showdown team. We need to have a boss from Samurai Showdown in this game. If the team is coming, they need one. We need one. We the people. We. Anyways, guys and girls, let's go to the next character. Okay, so my second character for for the list will be Gonetsu. Gonetsu. I don't know how to call it. His first name Leopold, but some people say that is not real. So I sometimes say Leopold because it's way easier. If you know how to pronounce his last name, please let me know. But this character is a boss from King of Fighter 96. Yeah, 96 if I'm not mistaken. And he used wind as his weapon, and to be honest, it's super awesome the stuff that he can do. I always like the way that he did his move, his cockiness. I think it will be an interesting character to have as a boss, and also it will be way awesome if we have that character as a boss before Orochi, if they bring Orochi, right? Because that way you can have like a mini revival of Orochi saga, and after Gonetsu, then Orochi came, right? So I think it will be an excellent character to be as a boss in King of Fighters, and he has been, like in King of Fighters 2002 Unlimited Match, he's a playable character. Of course, I don't think it's legal. I've never seen tournaments about that game. Actually, I've seen it for the old one version. I mean, the 2000 old version of the game. But anyways, let's go to the next character. But before that, I want to mention honorable mentions, because there's a lot of stuff that I want to add after some people have given me input before this list, because I haven't done this list. But some people like this user. Now, Muhammad Ali told me about this game in the comments in another video I did for King of Fighter Leaks. And to be honest, if I saw that game, I remember, but I decided to check it out because I was intrigued, even though Maximum Impact 2 is something I have seen in the past. But this game, bro, you know what? Let me mute myself, and I want you to hear the sound of this boss.
自分の意志で従うか、僕にマインドコントロールされるかのどちらかだ。
Round 1. Fight! Ha! Ha!
So you can hear that when he falls down and he moves, like the like the sound of broken bones. That sounds so OP. The stage is awesome. Yeah, he talks a lot of crap, by the way, in the opening. I'm sorry, I didn't do that. But this is a game that was only for Japan, from what I've been seeing, and it was like a PlayStation exclusive for Japan. Now, I cannot comment how hard the character it is, again, when fighting against him, because unfortunately I haven't been able to get a copy of the game, and I wanted to give justice to this character because I think it's awesome for what I'm seeing, and it will be really cool to see him once again appear in a King of Fire game. I don't know, I think he's look awesome. I like obscure stuff, and this character is kind of creepy. I don't know, it's kind of interesting because at the end of everything, I think that a lot of bosses from that are not in King of Fire, like for example Kane from Garo, Krauser, Geese, it's a house, it's Geese, right? But for example White, what the heck talk about this character, right? Anyways, let's go to the next honorable mention. We only have 2 more, just so you know, and I will be going over them really quickly. Now, this next character appeared in the King of Fighters leaks, and this is my reason why I didn't add him, even though at the beginning, before I made this video, Jibata might be appearing in King of Fighters because of the leaks that I made a video about. I'm gonna put it in the comments or the description a link to that video so you can see it. And all the evidence I have for me saying that this character might be appearing in King of Fighter as a boss, right? So I didn't add him because at the beginning I wasn't thinking that this might get added, and most people don't remember about Maximum Impact. So having said that, with all the information that appears on the video I mentioned before, you will notice that this character might be going, and that's why I'm making it more like an honorable mention instead of like a wish list, I guess. This is the reason why I'm making this list. Anyway, let's go to the last one. So, Nightmare Kiss. This is a character that, to be honest, I never mentioned this on my last video, the leak one, but I think this character is gonna be available. I mean, not available, more like to fight against in the boss mode, because we're gonna get Southtown team next month, right? So I don't know why they why they shouldn't have that character, right? Since you already have the model and stuff like that, and you can do like a small tweaks, maybe not next month, but maybe down the line, maybe like the month before Southtown. But yeah, whatever. Nightmare Geese, even though we might have that character as a boss, you won't be able to do the stuff that he can do as a Nightmare Geese as a playable character, because it will be so super stupid to balance. So yeah, anyway, let's go with the number 1. Number 1, Chris Salad. And you may be asking why you're gonna put him number 1, and the main reason is that I always thought that this character has great potential. I wish that SNK, if they're gonna add all characters that have been killed, to reconsider their options with those characters. Like, to be honest, I don't think Rugal should be killed once again, because it always have the same issue that, okay, so we can only bring Rugal in a dream match. And to be honest, that's kind of boring. And if you think about it, also, like, the only character that have been brought back in a dream match is Rugal. I love Rugal as a character, I think it's awesome, but I do believe that other characters, especially bosses, they need to shine better, right? Like, like at this moment, like like think about it this way, like which characters, if you have been a OE fan from Kingdom Fighters, what are the bosses that stick with you? I'm not talking about difficulty, but usually it's Rugal, Orochi, Rugal, Orochi. And then after you have your Inis, stuff like that. But to be honest, like if you think about character design and and swag, right, like looking cool, you will say, okay, so the other character I think about is Chrysalid. Like Inis, Zero, those characters, I like them, but at the same time I don't like them. I think for the NES saga, the best boss of that era was Chrysalid. And I think that, keep in mind, like that time when Kingdom Fighter 99, right? They were trying to change from Mayori and Kyo to be the heroes and the arch enemy in the series, to have a new protagonist that in this case will be K-Dash. But the problem is that I think that when they did all that stuff, they never had like a rival like Iori. And I think the rival would have been either K49, but the problem with K49 was legal issues that they wanted to avoid, and Chrysalid, they killed him in Kingdom Fighter 99. So bringing him back, and if you see what he can do compared to K-Dash, is completely different, and also completely different from what K49 does. So I think they should stick with that character and leave him being alive instead of killing him, and maybe do like like trying to make connect him with other characters, like for example Eli or Mature and Vice. And this character, like, I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, his normal costume looks like a CS, like he likes to go to a sexual dungeon or something like that. I would prefer him with the coat, but they can alter a little bit the costume, and the one with the coat can be the boss alternate costume. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it. So let me know what you think about all I have say in my list. Are there character bosses that you would have liked to have seen over here in this list? If so, let me know in the comments below. I always appreciate everybody's input when they're putting the replies and comments. I always try to reply back as soon as possible. If not, I'm sorry. But yeah, let me know what you think about this list and what characters you want to see and why. Give me the why. So yeah, as always, like and subscribe. More content like this coming up. And yeah, take care and see you in the next video.